What is up, IF Warriors? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about OMAD diet efficiency. Stay tuned. Okay guys, on Sunday I talked about what you can do to maximize your weight loss in a span of just 1 week. And in that video, I talked about the fact that you should utilize the OMAD protocol so that you can do this as effectively as possible to maximize your body fat as much as possible. In this video, I'm gonna tackle the efficiency of OMAD and why it is very, very effective when implementing the intermittent fasting protocol. Now, the intermittent fasting protocol of my choice that I do is the warrior diet. However, I do sprinkle in OMAD every now and then, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes once or twice a week. I simply bounce between warrior diet and the OMAD diet whenever I feel like it. Let's talk about the more simple benefits that come with OMAD that increase its efficiency. There is a lot of flexibility when it comes to OMAD. Although you can select 1 hour to eat, one specific hour, so that you're constantly doing 23 and 1, you can also select an eating range. And within this eating range, you manage to eat 1 meal every single day. And let me explain that for you. Unlike the warrior diet, in which you're allowed to eat multiple times within the 4-hour range, you can, with OMAD, use a 4-hour range and eat just once, so that every single time you are either shortening your fast slightly or increasing your fast slightly, but never going below 20 hours. Just to ensure that you understand what I'm talking about, let's say your range is from 2:30 to about 6:30 p.m. Within that range, you have 4 hours. That is essentially the warrior diet. However, what makes OMAD different is within that 4-hour range, you will select just one time to eat. It's simply just a flexibility of 4 hours to choose when you want to eat. Now, let's say for day 1, you choose to eat at 2:30 p.m. If you eat at 2:30 p.m. and then stop eating at about 3 o'clock, for example, depending on how fast you eat, and then decide again that you will eat at 2:30 p.m., you have essentially completed a 23.5 hour fast. Now, if you eat at 2:30, but then decide that you want to eat at, let's say, 5:30. So you essentially would have been fasting for about 25.5 hours. Now, OMAD gives you that freedom. OMAD does not have to be a prison in which you just select this 1 hour. However, if you want to ensure that you're constantly in a 23-hour plus fasted state, you can select 1 hour throughout the day to eat your food. But I believe that this method of having a range in which you ensure that you're never going below warrior diet status of fasting, but you also incorporate going further than 24 hours when you choose a later time. So the worst case scenario is basically the warrior diet. That's essentially if you eat about 6 o'clock and then decide to eat at 2:30. That will net you about a 20-hour fast. Now, I don't have to stress the importance of the longer you fast, the better it is, because you activate the fasted state at 6 hours. So everything after 6 hours is when the benefits start to kick in and when all the weight loss and the body fat transition for energy starts to activate. So basically erase 6 hours from when you stop eating, as those numbers are not important. It is only after the 6 hours that it is actually important. This is why OMAD carries so much efficiency, because you are fasting for such a long time throughout the day. Now, although I believe that the warrior diet is the perfect setup for you to be able to do this long term, as you can split up meals by doing meals at the beginning of the break and also right before you're ending your feeding window. So it's very inviting for most people to come in, get to the warrior diet position, and then stay there for the rest of their lives. But if you are able to manage doing the OMAD protocol for the rest of your life, you will probably be in the best possible position. Now we could even talk about the 48-hour fast. Why not the 48-hour fast? Considering the fact that all of the benefits start to diminish after the 48-hour fast, not before the 48-hour fast. So you're probably asking yourself, why not push to do the 48-hour fast over OMAD? As I've said before, there are many health benefits to the 48-hour fast. It's probably the most potent fast in which you're not exceeding over the limit to drop your benefits, and you are also pushing it all the way up to the line so that you keep your insulin down for an extreme amount of time, over 40 hours. Now, every now and then it is good to do a 48-hour fast. I myself do 48-hour fast every now and then, maybe once or twice a month, or once every 2 months. Whenever I decide that today I will not eat and I will continue not eating until the next day, that's when I do a 48-hour fast. But you have to remember one thing: although we are fasting, and which fasting is a beautiful thing, and it does help us in terms of cell regeneration, in terms of the insulin sensitivity, in terms of the cognitive functions, the fight or flight, the human growth hormone increase. All of these are great, and if you stay within the 48-hour mark, you will be able to maintain those. There is still a question of nutrition. You receiving the nutrition that you need throughout the week. So if you were to incorporate a 48-hour fast, it shouldn't be the rule as it should be the exception. You should throw it in there every once in a while, but you shouldn't consecutively just be doing the 48-hour fast. The best rhythmical fast that you can do is the OMAD diet. It is much more powerful than the Warrior Diet. It can be Warrior Diet Plus when you incorporate the fact that you can just select a range and choose when you want to eat the OMAD diet. When you understand that you can select a 4-hour range and just choose an hour every single rotation, and that hour will either give you, worst case scenario, the Warrior Diet of 20-hour fast, or best case scenario, over 25 to 26-hour fast. Not a lot of people will be able to stick to this diet for the rest of their lives based on their specific willpower, but if you train yourself, it's very, very doable. It's the closest thing. You're right on the edge of where it's very difficult, but it can be done. Warrior Diet, I feel, is very, very open to allow most people to come in and do it. OMAD is over that line, but if you reach it and you have the strategy as well as the willpower to continue, then you will be in the best possible situation. Remember to throw in a 48-hour fast every now and then, but make that the exception, not the rule. Studies have even shown the effectiveness of 1 meal a day, even when compared to participants that were not reducing their caloric intake. So people who were doing OMAD and people who were spreading their meals out 3 meals a day, but eating the exact same amount of calories, the OMAD participants shown a significant amount of fat mass reduction. That means that although weight stayed the same, muscle was maintained in the OMAD group, but the body fat mass dropped. Now, to be fair, this study does indicate that the LDL cholesterols as well as the HDL cholesterols were higher in the OMAD group. But that is because the OMAD group was forced to eat the same amount of calories as the 3 meal a day group. And just all of those calories being shoved in just one meal and not being a caloric reduction meal, basically was just a caloric maintenance meal. It caused higher elevations in LDL cholesterol and fasting glucose. But they did show that the moment that that group released themselves from eating that much caloric intake, their bodies went right back to normal from the fasting glucose, and it reduced the LDL and HDL cholesterol. So why do I point out that study? The conclusion of that study can show that the 1 meal a day is in a bad light. However, if you're trying to lose weight, you will actually reduce caloric intake. You're not going to sustain the amount of calories that you would if you were just on a maintenance level. The doctors in the studies even admitted that if there was a caloric reduction, these numbers will most likely not appear. They were able to let the body rest from intaking cholesterol. Now, if you were to do it on a vegan diet, completely vegan, and you were to do the same amount, you will lose the body fat mass, but guess what? You will not induce any cholesterol, because cholesterols are only found in animal products. So that's a strategy that you can uptake if you decide that you want to do OMAD and you decide that you want to maintain, have a maintenance level, and just keep it going in that specific state. You can incorporate a vegan meal lifestyle to be your sidekick for OMAD and not even have to worry about increase in LDL cholesterol. However, you could also do the Warrior Diet and spread out your meals a little bit more so that you give your body that little bit of rest needed so that it's not compounded with the cholesterol and it doesn't increase your LDL cholesterol score. Overall, with that being said, OMAD is still the most powerful intermittent fasting protocol when it comes to increasing your cognitive functions, fight or flight mode, human growth hormone increase, even autophagy, as studies shown that autophagy can hit its mark starting at 24 hours. So the warrior diet can't really get you into autophagy as effective as the OMAD diet can. If you hit the OMAD diet, you can go a few hours in and you'll be very, very successful with your autophagy. You can also do an OMAD into a skip day, and that will give you the 48-hour fast, so you can push your autophagy even further. So that is the efficiency of the OMAD diet and why I think it is literally the most powerful intermittent fasting protocol that you can utilize in terms of practicality and also just from the fasting benefits that come with prolonging the fast as much as you can, but of course below 48 hours. And remember to always try to dab in 48-hour fast every now and then, as that can also assist you in boosting your fat loss as well as boosting the benefits of intermittent fasting just that much more right before ending your fast. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I want to thank my patrons from my Patreon, and I'm going to put their names right up here. And I'll see you on Sunday for another FAQ.